Shout it out. L. Scott. We racing now. Let's go. Yeah. Turn your volume up. L. Scott. We racing now. Let's go. Race to wrestling, we don't slow down. L. Scott got the whole crowd loud. Hit that play, we gon' ride this round. Race to wrestling. Shout it out. Race to wrestling, we don't tap out. Bell just rang, hear the fans all shout. Hit that play, we gon' ride this round. Race to wrestling. Shout it out. New week, new heat, new heat, new heat. I'm tuned in, front seat, from the bell to the backseat beef. He break it all down, make a car feel deep. Storylines twist, I can't miss that talk. Champ runs, upsets, every heel turn shock. From legends in the ring to the kids on the block, we all tuned in when it's L. Scott. Yeah. Long drives, late nights, keep me wired. Laughs, hot takes, got the group chat fired. I feel backstage while I walk my route, like I'm right there live when the lights go out. Race to
Scott Free is going live. Let's go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
People, welcome back to a brand new episode of the Race to Wrestling podcast. I am your host himself, L. Scott. People, on today's episode, I am not going to hold you. We're going to get in, we're going to get out, we're going to get this thing over with today. Reason why I say that today is because I got something to do for one. And then two, on top of it, well, really, let's just be honest, is there much to sink our teeth into from last night's episode? We have a couple of things highlighted, but if you can see the thumbnail that's on the screen, I do want to highlight something that I would be remiss if we just glossed over it. All right, so we're going to dive into that. We're going to talk about the main topic, which is Oba. Really, this isn't even about Brian. This is about Oba Femi. So I want to talk a little bit about Oba Femi and why we are not fooled about what's going on. But we're going to get there. We're going to talk about that. We're going to do a raw recap. If you are new to the channel, again, go ahead and hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button, hit the hype button if it's there. It probably isn't. But go ahead and hit those things for me so we can go and get this thing popping. Because the reason why I want to do it is because, again, I want to go ahead and get in and get out and get it over with today. We're going to do a recap. While people are coming in, I'm going to go ahead and start the show. We're going to start talking about some of the things that we saw on Raw. And we like to start somewhere near the top. Let's start, when I say the top, I'm talking about, let's start with the most insignificant things and then move from there. First things first, let's do it. Let's dive into it. Hold on a second. My hat is, anyways, I'll get it in a second. Anyways, I'm doing too much. Anyway, first things first on today's episode. Let's do it first. First things first, let's talk about Stephanie Vaquer with a little bit of the man, Becky Lynch, and Liv Morgan. The reason why I'm bringing them up, and I'm not going to stay on that topic long, it is because of this. I have been a Becky Lynch hater. I'm not going to lie. I've done that. I have pretty much thrown her under the bus. I've said that she has been overrated. I said that these people have put her in positions that she did not deserve to be in my opinion. Just one man's opinion. But I will say this whole female version, and I say this week in, week out, this female version of Trump that she has going on right now is quite entertaining. So it's never about hate. If you put on something that's entertaining to me, I'm going to give you your props. And she's doing her thing. Liv Morgan has always been a very good actress, so they're pulling it off. Stephanie Vaquer, on the other hand, only complaint I really have, because I think her outfit's nice, is I think the jury is kind of still out on what she can do and how great is she going to be down the road. I will say, though, when she's standing next to these other women, why is she orange? What kind of makeup is she wearing? Is that Maybelline? Is that Too Faced? What is that? I don't know what brand that is. NARS or something different. I don't know what it is. But anyways, guy, I appreciate it. What's your question? Here's promotion. What'd you say? WWE promotion. What's your name? What's your question? Or here's your question. If that was a rhetorical question, it may have been a rhetorical question. But I just want to go ahead and do this. I just want to say that about them, and I move on. What's your question? There you go. If Oba gets to choose, do we eliminate the chamber because the Oba gets to? Wait a minute. Well, this is my thing. Okay. I'm trying not to hit the like button. Shut a lot of people. Come on in. I appreciate you for coming on in today. I'm try not to get deep into the question, but fuck it. We might as well start at the top and work our way down. That way people know what we talk about when we get in here. So let's say this first. First things first. Let's back it up. Let's not dive straight into where Ober's going. Let's back it up and let's get here. Again, this is going to be the portion of the show that we're going to discuss race, and we have to do it. I'm sorry. Unfortunately, this is not my conjecture. This is the world that we live in. So you're going to tell me, again, I say week in, week out, that he is going to now, bro. You guys sold us on the King of the Ring for decades now. The person who wins the King of the Ring goes off to challenge for the title. We didn't accept it when you told us Oba was going to wrestle Brock Lesnar again, because we all agree. We think Oba should be in position to win a title. We all think Oba should be up to win one of these titles, but we don't agree with this. Why would you put him in the King of the Ring and then turn around the day after and basically say, no, he's not going to go after the title? Didn't make any sense, did it not? I'm not the only one that said that. That is the personal conjecture of most of the people watching this. But let's go and make it worse. Triple H, WWE, or TKO, I don't know who's who, but we did not forget that the King of the Ring just happened. Being that it just happened and the person who wins it challenges for the title, we all heard Oba say, the title will be there. I have personal problems with Brock Lesnar. I need to settle that today, and then we're going to move on from it. That's what you said. That's what you told us. So now, let me fast forward to today. This is no personal knock to Bron Breakker. I think Bron Breakker is a star. I think Bron Breakker should be the future of this business. I have no problems with Bron Breakker. So this is not a personal shot at him, but what I want to know, WWE, why the fuck is why is Oba Femi wrestling Bron Breakker today? If you wanted to, you could have had Oba do what he's supposed to, go off and win a title, and then have Bron Breakker be the first guy that he faces. We would have all accepted it. But what you're telling us is that I'm telling you guys, I'm going to go be Negro Nostradamus already. I'm going to go ahead and tell you. Somehow, some way, they're going to figure out some way to attach some person of another group of people. Most of the time, them folks, the white team man, most of the time. Paul Heyman is who I'm thinking it's going to be. It's going to be a person they're going to attach to Oba Femi, because Oba can't ride this train by himself. Oba can't be the ruler alone. Oba needs some help. Oba going to need something to put him over the top. That's how they're going to sell that bullshit to you. When Unreal Season 3 comes out and they start talking about why they stuck Paul Heyman with Oba Femi or something like that, it's going to be because, man, he just wasn't getting over. Bullshit. Everybody and their mama been saying to me, I post stuff about wrestling daily. Daily, people tell me daily that I am crazy, that Oba Femi is lockstep going to be a superstar. There's no way they're going to miss. And I keep saying, can you give me the proof in the past? I remember in the past that we had people like Ahmed Johnson. I remember people in the past like Bobby Lashley. I remember people in the past like Shelton Benjamin, who look like can't miss motherfuckers to me too. Now, people are going to argue with you. These guys won title. Yes. But again, when they are doing WWE greatest hits, or they're doing WWE throwback night, or they're doing WWE, we're going to bring somebody on that people love. It is never Bobby Lashley. It is never Ron Simmons. It is never The Godfather. It is never D'Lo Brown. Stop naming all the black people who wrestle. Name the people who these people consider to be legendary. Remember, they have Becky Lynch in front of Booker T. So no, I need to know why Oba Femi is the first guy in history, ironically, who goes off winning the King of the Ring and don't challenge for the title right out the gate. What y'all are doing is y'all are letting the fire go out. What can only happen in WrestleMania? See, there we go again. See, again, if you wanted to do that, why didn't you build the story up for him to do it at WrestleMania if you're discussing, and that's just if you're discussing Oba. See, remember, people, these people are not supposed to be making the decisions for the wrestling events night in, night out. They supposed to plan a fucking head. Meaning, if you know that you want Oba Femi to be a star, map out something from. Remember, Cody got a thing called the story. Meaning, they mapped out a fucking plan for him to get there. They pivoted and changed based upon the way the crowd was responding. They pivoted and changed based upon someone got injured. They changed based upon whether The Rock could be there. They always pivot, but they have a plan. I want to know, why is Oba Femi not up for the title? You have Roman. Let's give it to you. Roman, whether he's there week in or week out, Roman generates heat. Last week, my last episode was about, is Roman considered an all-star, an all-time great? Is he going to be considered one? That was what that episode was about, because people are challenging it. I think he is. This man has saved that business before. That's a person who is legendary. So I don't have any problems with Roman Reigns. I don't think Roman Reigns is the person that Oba should be challenging today. If you want to set that up for WrestleMania, great, I'll take it. You're right, he deserves that. But this whole thing where I'm going to keep regurgitating back and forth, now it's going to be Punk, then it's going to be Cody, then it's going to be Drew, then it's going to be RKO and Randy. No one cares. Those guys have had their run. It is over. Randy Orton coming out speaking on SmackDown means nothing at this point. Because we all know what Randy finishes in the next 2 or 3 weeks. He's going home for the next 3 to 4, 5, 6, 8, 9 months. We don't care about that. We want wrestling to evolve. Trick Williams, I said this before and I'll continue to keep saying this. Why the fuck did Trick Williams drop his belt to that guy, Baron Corbin? Why not go drop it to Big Cass? Big Cass looks intimidating. He looks polarizing. He looks massive in size. You could have built a rivalry between Big Cass and Trick Williams. Great. Size-wise, it looks very good. No, you're just going to have Big Cass, who has 13 times the muscle mass than Javon, and then have him squash him week in and week the fuck out. While Trick loses his belt to Baron Corbin? What are we talking about here? Why are we so blatant with it, but we supposed to be idiots? I did a show earlier today on a totally different subject. But on that subject, we talked about trying to be gassed, or at least, black folks being gassed. They are consistently gassing you into thinking you are not experiencing what you are experiencing. Yes, the fuck you are experiencing what you're experiencing. Oba Femi, I hate to tell you, brother, but they're trying their best to try to figure out how to not make you a superstar. They are trying their best. Shawn Michaels was wrong for being able to put you guys on. Shawn Michaels was wrong for putting on Oba Femi, for putting on Trick Williams, for putting on Carmelo Hayes. He was wrong, because I've noticed this. Once they leave NXT, they're no longer as good as they used to be. And then the people at NXT who didn't pop off, who wasn't popular, just seem to go to the main roster, and they just see something in them. I'm not knocking people like Ethan Page. I think Ethan Page has the potential to be something great if he tightens up his workout regimen. So I'm not saying it. Braun Breaker came from NXT. Think he is a superstar. This is not for me. Don't project your hate for black folks onto me saying that it's the same thing in reverse. No. I can just recognize black people need something and they're not getting prioritized like they're supposed to. Braun Breaker gets to come in. They're going to make sure he loses in a specific manner. If he drops his title, it's going to be in a specific manner. They will not have Braun Breaker go into a ring and lose to a Baron Corbin, whether it's by getting knocked out, by getting cheated on, nothing. Why? Because he ain't on his level. That's what they're telling you. They're telling you Trick Williams' level is Baron Corbin. Now tell me, is Baron Corbin going to sniff anybody's championship at any type of level when we get to the big dog title? No. So why would you have Trick Williams lose to him? But at the same time, we're going to still... Braun Breaker didn't do that. Braun came in and got right into the mix with the big dogs. We're going to have him wrestle Pump. We're going to have him wrestle Seth. We're going to build you a classic with them. Why? Because in 10 to 15 years, you're going to talk about the early days of Braun Breaker wrestling the later days of Seth Rollins. What are they going to say for Trick Williams? Man, he was wrestling The Miz. Come on now, people. Hit the like button. Shut it live. You know I'm telling the truth. Again, if you don't want us to say this about what we see, don't put it on the screen in the fashion that you do. Why isn't Oba Femi going for the belt? Hey, for all the people in the live, I want to hip you guys to a specific thing. There's a guy with no face, no nothing, no nothing. He could be a bot, could not be a bot, but he's in the chat now named Nevermind. I want you to not engage with Nevermind. Nevermind is I'm going to say white people are the greatest, did everything right, and I'm going to make excuses for everything they do, and I'm going to blame black people, and I'm not going to do it. He's going to do that. So what I want you guys to do is to not engage. But one thing I give him credence to do, and I give anyone an opportunity to speak their piece. This is not a monopoly here. But what we're not going to do is we're not going to troll, but we will have the conversation. I'm just laying the groundwork now, and if never mind, you don't go by the rules, again, you know every week I tell you the same thing, I will block you. So let's keep it peaceful, let's move on. Anyways, guys, I appreciate you for being on for the show. Let's move on to that, and we're going to come back to the Oba thing in a minute. One of the things I want to talk about from that last night's episode, I thought was, let me get the ladies out the way. And this is not to knock the ladies. It's just that for women wrestling, and I'm going to say this, not to knock the women. I say this because I feel sorry for the women wrestlers. I feel sorry because with women wrestling, they do not want to give you guys anything. They don't want to make sure the ring works well for you guys. They don't care about giving you storylines. They don't care about giving you feuds. They don't care about giving you anything. Now they turned Io into now, she done turned out so Rugal like she turned out, well, first of all, so Rhea turned out Io, so now Io turned out so Rugal. We don't care to see these people. Yeah, we're friends. No, give us a storyline. Women are the most cattiest people on earth, allegedly. I love TikTok Shop. So being that they are some of the most cattiest people on earth, give these women at least a catty storyline. Give them something to we can also sink our teeth into. I really don't care that when someone wins the title, they stand in the ring and then somebody just steps up and want to fight them. Wrestling is theater. I said it before. It's not like any other sport. Part of it, what's important in it is the theater aspect of it. So again, if you have to be messy and put somebody's boyfriend in the mix or somebody's husband in the mix or somebody that's using a casting couch to get put on, I don't care where you go with it. If you want to have two people have a Twitter war online, which ain't real, but make it seem real, I don't care. Have somebody talk about somebody's mama, I don't care. But this whole, I'm just going to keep regurgitating the same 4, 5, 6 same people at the top to wrestle for the title. Io, Rhea, Charlotte, rotate, Io. That's what they do. So I'm just like, hey, we can agree to disagree. You can say it's a bad take that I want women to have more of a storyline. Hey, that's neither here nor there. I don't think they get great ones. To me, I want them to have more. Women's wrestling has evolved to a point to where they should be able and could be able to hold their own show down by themselves. Where my girls at? What do you mean where my girls at? What is that supposed to mean? That doesn't even make any sense. Never mind. Again, you want to know when people want to be hateful, they will come in they want to just say, just because you said it. And let me bring up Jade. Since someone brought up Jade in the comments, let's bring her up. You want to know what's amazing? I want to say this to my people. Hit the like button, share the live. I promise you this is going to resonate with you guys because you're not going to be able to refute it. Nevermind's not going to be able to refute it. If Nevermind posts his wrestle on his content, he would be the person who posts every time Jay has a botch. But he will see every other person in this ring because I call women's wrestling botch fucking central because that's all they do is botch it. All they do is fake act. All they do is, it's horrible to watch at times. But for some reason, when Jay do it, we're going to analyze it with a microscope. We're going to pause it right here. She was supposed to catch Charlotte's arm right here. She didn't. Throw her in there. That's what you do. When she wasn't defending her title week in, week out, they act like she did the fucking booking. But Liv Morgan never holds her title up. She never wrestled. No one said a wiser. See, what it is that we're going to pick and choose who we're going to pick at. I agree with you. When Jay had the title, she should have wrestled more. If she's not ready to be in that position to wrestle night in, night out, don't put the belt on until she's ready. If Liv isn't prepared to be able to wrestle right night in, night out, don't put the fucking belt on until she's ready. But what we can't do is we not going to put the black person under the microphone, never mind. Oh, God, he's boring. Of course he's boring. He's not put into position to be good. Wrestling is theater. A writer can write a movie, and it can be an amazing movie. But if the actor can't act, I appreciate the love. I do appreciate the fan club. But if you cannot produce what that person put on paper well, you're going to have multiple people you can blame. And in wrestling, majority of the time, it's not the wrestler. What do you say about Ogle? I know he's going to probably go for Roman time. And if he goes for it, but see, why? Mania is damn near 9 months away. If not 9 months away. Why did this man win King of the Ring if he got to turn around and wait to WrestleMania to do it? No. What it is, they're trying to tell you we don't want him to be that person. Now, let me finish my statement. I'm getting sidetracked by it. I definitely want women's wrestling to be better. So when I say that about them, it's just the fact of I'm tired of seeing the Bella twins. Send them home. If y'all can do, if I'm tired of seeing more conversation about Jade and Charlotte's match and how Jade had this human fuck up, which to me, these are normal mess ups that I see people do week in, week out now. But just because she's built like a stallion, all of a sudden she needs to be hated on. But I'm sitting there watching this over and week in, I'm thinking to myself, so no one catches anything else that happened on last night's show? Just that part? just this right here when it comes to Jade? No, you're picking and choosing is what we're doing. And again, in women's wrestling, I don't think we should be doing that. I think that these women could do better. They could be better, but they don't want them to be. And I'm tired of people being hateful and then trying to pass it off as being, hey, I'm just telling the truth. No, you're not. No, you're not. You know Jade is under a microscope that none of them got put under. You want to know why Naomi doesn't get put under that same microscope that they put Jade under? You want to know why? Because they never built Naomi like they built up Jade. Jade came out the game, and Jade, let's just be honest. Now, I'm a Naomi fan. Caution. It's unfortunate. Caution and get a chance to get that run like it was supposed to. But I've been rooting for Naomi since I was watching Divas back in the day. Kiss your mama. My children love. My daughters like that show. So I always thought Naomi should have been the one they prioritized. Do y'all remember back in the day? I've always brought this up before. Y'all remember back in the day when Beyonce, she got her eye socket kind of busted and she was wearing all black in the patch? She should have rolled with that one. That was a look. But the only difference was she wasn't ready to play a bad guy yet. She's fell into that role. Now you see what happens. I can tell you like this. If Naomi had ran without getting pregnant, watch how all the hate would have came out about her match. Oh, she just boring now. We need to move on from her. It would have been that. Bianca is literally, mind you, Bianca is a superstar. Can't nobody say nothing negative about Bianca at all. And they still try to throw her under a microscope. So that's my whole thing. Yes, I've seen them all. I'm telling you they are. Because you know how I know they are on the microscope? Because they keep trying to tell me how Jade ain't no superstar. Jade shouldn't be this and the third. But yet and still the Bella twins. Aren't they Hall of Famers? The Bella twins? The Bella twins can't wrestle, never could. Brie has knocked people unconscious and woke them up. But no one sits back and talks about Jade has a stigma attached to her name in wrestling as being a botcher. But Brie Bella has kicked people unconscious and woke them up. They known this woman can't wrestle. But yet and still, that's not the stigma attached to it. Why? Because that's not what we want it to be. So anyways, I digress. Moving on. I don't want to make it about that. Another thing, I'm going to say this. WWE, this is no smoke for the wrestlers again. This is all for the people who are involved and who have to suffer. No knock to Otis and his homeboy that is wrestling division right now, but I am going to tell you like this. You are showing y'all little asses when y'all showing that y'all have no tag team division, when you have R-Truth and Damian Priest as one champion, and then you got division wrestling Otis and this little dude. What? Y'all don't sit back and say, man, we got to do something about this tag team division because we're taking Raw and putting this on the air. No, nobody wants to see that. No one wants to see Austin Theory picking the little Asian boy about his little girlfriend. Nobody wants to see that. Now, if it was some opponents that we wanted to see, it'd be different. I love the storyline. It's just to me, I don't really do it. Oh, I'm getting into the bloodline because Solo's a fucking superstar. We getting there, we just ain't got there yet. Just walk with me. We're gonna slow walk this thing. So all I'm saying is that division, to be honest with you, this is my opinion. I say this weekend we got about division. Hit the like button, shed a lot of people. My vision for the vision is this. Let Braun Breaker go. That man don't want to be there. We don't want him there. He's a solo star. He does not need them. Please let Austin there. I know you're holding him until Logan Paul can get over the noodle arm. I get it. But I'm telling you right now, even if you have to put Bronson Reed with them for a short period of time, because I don't think Bronson should be with them, go ahead and let Braun go. Because that man's a star. Y'all wasting him again. But I digress. I touched on this next subject. Hold on one second.
Switch that shit, Scott.
So the next subject I want to move on to is it's Big Cass. Okay, Big Cass he looks the part. I see they're gonna bring him in as something, doing something. Unless you plan on having him and Javon really going at it, please, oh please, oh please, oh please, oh please, oh please, don't bring this man in here to squash Javon. I honestly say that, and this is for Javon. But if it's Big Cass, it's different. He has a look. He gives you something different. Let's try it. I don't know. I don't know the whole back. I know people know more of his story than I do. I remember him when Enzo was together. I remember that years ago, but that's it. You say he's getting not getting past. You don't think he's getting past the mid card? You really don't? Hey, maybe so. I like again. I don't know much about him, so I can't say. I really can't. But I will say this though. Moving forward, it looked good in the ring. To me, don't you squash Javon. These people are not here to just be squashed by you people. Javon's a star if you put 20 pounds of meat on his chest. He needs some titties. That's all he needs. Ken, let me say this. Let me moving on. Let me go to the next subject.
Switch that shit, Scott.
I don't know why I did that. That's funny to me. The next subject I wanted to cover, because I told you I ain't got much time, so I want to get through it today. I have no problem with AAA. I think AAA obviously has got a viewership, because remember, they just talked about all the numbers they got with that Grande Americano. Have no issues with it at all. But I am going to tell you, and I said this last week, and I'm going to continue to say this. It is very hard for people like myself to get into this whole tournament that you have going. Because I think you and your mama know, especially the person in the back, Roman ain't losing shit to nobody from AAA. You would have been better suited trying to get him or someone else to do that could have potentially may have taken the L, but it ain't going to be Roman. So again, wrestling has a problem. Wrestling is theater. Do you go to the movies? Do you want to know the ending before you get in there? No, you don't want to see it when it's like that. You ever turn on a rom-com or something? You say, oh shit, they're going to end up together later and this was going to happen, blah, blah, blah. No. So this is what I'm trying to tell you. Being that we all know the outcome, I don't want to see it. Wrestling needs to evolve into a space to where we don't see it coming. Game of Thrones changed the game. If you watch the Game of Thrones, if you watch the show, because I did, I remember Game of Thrones and The Walking Dead were two things early on. What's going on, Pimpin'? Two things that went on early on Game of Thrones that revolutionized TV, in my opinion. Early characters that we thought were going to be around for the long haul was getting it. To the point that we just say, oh, shit, we don't even know where this show is going. That's what makes it entertaining. That's what makes your heart pump. That's what you say, oh, shit, I hope we don't lose this person. Oh, my God, they're gonna. That's what you do. Wrestling has lost its flair. Wrestling will tell you at every turn that, nope, nah, Roman's going to win it. Punk's going to win it. And I'm telling you, once you get to a point to where we don't know, we don't care. You know the last time y'all surprised us? Y'all did it twice. Y'all did it twice, and then you effed us the second time, which was fine. I just liked the moment. Second, when Roman beat Cody at the first time, everyone knew the story was going to end that night, and they let Roman win. Shocked me. But that was a good shocking. Give you another one. Jey Uso, before he won the Royal Rumble, we knew that he was getting a tiny little push, even though they crapped on him when he was the Intercontinental Champ. He had the belt for that for 10 days. Let Braun take it off of him for no apparent reason. So when he won the Rumble, you was almost like, if you were into me, I was standing on my chair. Oh, shit. I think Jay is ready to get it. Jay is ready to get it. You changed the game. Undertaker, Brock Lesnar. What the? You remember the one black guy in the middle of the crowd that everybody's going to remember. He's legendary because no one believed it. That's what gets you. But these matches y'all putting on now, come on now. Come on now. We all knew Cody was going to win when Cody's going to win. We all knew when Punk was going to win when Punk was going to win. We don't care because y'all don't give us theater anymore. That's all I'm saying when it comes to that. All right, so let me move on because this is the subject that everybody wants to get to. Let's get to it.
Switch that shit, Scott.
I think that's so funny to me. It gets my head. All right, let's get to Solo Sikoa. People keep bringing him up, and I agree with them. Solo Sikoa is a fucking star. I've been saying it for months upon months upon months. I noticed the personality from Solo well before anybody else, in my opinion. Solo has been picking at people. Side note, for the longest, Solo is dimensional. He has multiple levels to him. He can be the quiet, silent type. He can be the outspoken, funny guy. He can be the intense guy. The only thing he actually, I think, needed to change was his outfit, and it's kind of growing on me now. I really don't care. Solo is a star. If the WWE was smart, this will be one of those moments. I'm gonna give you an example of what I mean. If you're real wrestling fans like I am, y'all remember the night when the Outlaws first won the belts? You see this ragtag group when Billy Gunn and Road Dogg win the belt. You don't expect them to become something legendary. But to be honest with you, they put them together, they put the titles on them, and they eventually go off to be something statistical anomalous no one expects to see coming, but they were given the opportunity. What I see with Solo is, I agree. Roman, family. Fatu, family. Your brothers is Jay and Jimmy, been in the business for over 10 years. Everyone thought one of these people would be that person. Roman got there. You didn't expect Solo. Solo is a fucking star. Put him in position. All you have to do now is go ahead and ride that machine that is Solo Sikoa. He can get you there. Now, just imagine in the next 5 years, once we can put out CM Punk, We can put out Seth Rollins to pasture. We can put out all these old heads. We can put them out to pasture. When I say put out to pasture, I don't mean that disrespectfully. I mean that for the fact of when you're pushing 50, this business is unrealistic when you are the superstar. You cannot be. In boxing, remember George Foreman was the truth till he ran into Holyfield. That age kicked in. Now, if you're kind of old George Foreman, when they say he hit you with a neck bone back in the 60s or 70s, that's a different story. So being that we've moved on, just imagine your top looking like Solo Sikoa, 5'2". You got, and then for me, I'm sorry, I think Russ Keys should be up there. He's up there, Oba Femi. If you stop disrespecting Trick Williams and give him a finisher, he could be up there. Then you got guys like Braun Breaker. You got people big and strong. Hey, maybe Kaz could do something. You got people. But we're going to have to get these people out of here. You said Solo has an identity crisis. Never mind. Can you elaborate on that? Because I'm be honest with you, it seems like to me they're evolving him into a character. That's what it seemed like to me. Russ Keys. He did get destroyed, but see, that sets up for Big Dog. Mind you, now they're talking about he got his larynx busted and all this. Him and Fatu should have a couple of feuds going with this. This could be major in business for them. But what it is, that looks too melanated. You're talking about the Hawaiians who are not black but who are not white. So, but it doesn't look like the traditional people. So we don't want Solo there. We can't give it to Royce Keys because we can't compete with this big nickel stature. Fatu crazy than no more, but I love him. That dude right there is a superstar waiting to happen. And to be honest, for me, and y'all can kiss my ass, but I'm a fan. I still think Cocaine Jay Uso should get a run, and that's just me. That's just me. I'm partial to. I'm partial when it comes to Jay Uso, especially when they had, mind you, when Roman first won the heavyweight title, they had Jay Uso literally turn it into Cocaine Jay with all that attitude and stuff, and then all of a sudden they just shelved that too. You want to know why? You want to know why stuff like that happens? So I believe in wrestling. I believe that happens because they say, "Oh shit, that looks like this is gonna be too good. Let's stop making them do that." Because classic example, you know, Trick Williams. I give him as an example. Trick, when he was in NXT, it was never about Trick's outfit. Trick just dressed cool. Trick's song was it. So Trick could be diverse. Trick could come out and say things. Trick could do things when he comes out. Booker T made it even better. To be honest with you, if they really thought that they wanted Trick to be a star, what they would have done, and I can see them now, anytime he comes to the ring, Booker T has to do his intro. So even if Booker T shows up on whatever show that Trick is wrestling that night, Booker T has to do his intro. Booker T has to do the commentary when Trick's in the ring. That could be his thing. No, you made it about a coat, and you made it about another dude standing there with him that can't be Trick. I don't like that. You don't want Trick to be a star. Trick Williams came on that roster by himself, but since he's gotten here, he has to share the ring with every goddamn body. Excuse me. I love TikTok Shop. I love TikTok Shop. No, Oba could have been Goldberg, but the problem is that they didn't treat him like they treated Goldberg. People got on me about this because I said AEW needs a Goldberg. Somebody brought that up one time. And what I mean is, I don't mean Goldberg ended up being the best wrestler ever. No, what I'm saying is, if you were around during that time, and I was, Goldberg infused something into wrestling. That streak was something. Goldberg came out, but they built the storyline around him. Yes, he squashed people week in, week out, but he had opponents and reasons to get there, and it did not take long for him to get there. And I'm going to tell you right now, Oba Femi isn't getting that same treatment. Oba Femi has a 3-move set. Come out, hit you with them forearms. He gonna throw you across the ring, do a little spit, throw his hair, and then he's gonna do his finisher, and that's it. You gonna get tired of seeing this shit so fast? Goldberg didn't get that. Goldberg was able to show his power all the time. Montez Ford should have been a star a long time ago. People keep saying he gonna get his turn. When? Montez Ford pushing fucking 40 now. Montez Ford got a run 5 years ago. Montez had his time. Montez had the moment. Montez was well. That Elimination Chamber, WWE and whoever was controlling it then should have put that man on the map at that moment. I know, never mind. I know people. He didn't want to lead Dawkins. He don't get to determine that. The company will always do whatever they want to do. Goldberg was stronger, I believe, in athleticism. I don't know yet. I don't get to see Oba do much of anything. Oba was strong. I mean, I think Goldberg may have been stronger. I do think that Goldberg was strong as a motherfucker. You can tell. Should be more of it. I think what Oba should get is this. Oba Femi, if you could, and I say this. This is how I say for Oba Femi. Oba Femi should get this treatment. You said Oba Femi is the ruler. Then the ruler, to me, that sounds like a person who don't play. A person who will dominate you. When he get in the ring, it is never, ever, ever going to be fair because I'm going to dominate you. I'll give you an example. The Undertaker was a dead man, right? You remember there was a stint from like 96 to like 2000, no matter who he was. I don't care if he's wrestling Stone Cold, Steve Austin, Shawn Michaels, no matter. The Undertaker dominated you the entire match. I remember watching Stone Cold wrestling one time. Stone Cold caught him with a stunner, pinned him, and the Undertaker set right up. They knew there has to be, this Undertaker thing is going to be something like none other. So if you're going to pin Oba Femi as the ruler, he needs to be that mother all the time. He don't need to be nice. He don't need to come out and play with the crowd. Definitely don't need Danhausen squeezing between his legs. Fuck all that. It needs to be tough. But see, that would be too much. I give you another one. Trick Williams' personality, it's supposed to exude arrogance. If I'm playing Trick Williams' role, I am the person that slap, I'm doing it to everybody. You talk to, who the fuck are you talking to? You don't get to talk to me? Talk to Yachty. You talk through Yachty. No one would ever talk to me if I was Trick Williams. For all of my new people who didn't get to hear the story that I told 6 months ago, Trick Williams, because I gave this to Montez Ford, but Trick Williams is in position. He should get it. When he was the U.S. champion. Now, this is what people ain't going to like, but I promise you this is going to move the needle. Storylines are everything, people. Trick Williams is a black American man from South Carolina. What he should have did is went down there and spray painted on that belt, black American, told them that he didn't care. This is his land, his stuff. He running the show. Oh, do you know how them white folks are going to be so mad at him? Forget this. I hate him. It's going to be all of that. He going to be the most arrogant person in the world. Do you know who's going to show up for that? All the black people. You know who's going to show up to hate him, all of them? All the white people. Everybody's going to show up. And then the crazy part about it, he just keeps saying, I'm black American, baby. This is my title. I own this. My people from this soil. You know how people would hate that? They would hate him, but the crowds would grow. And then, you want to know how you pivot that same person right now into a baby face all over again? I can tell you how. Let someone foreign step up. Let someone who I just don't like America. Well, then you have Trick Williams stand his ass right in the middle of the ring. He says, hey, let them get it twisted. I may not like some of these motherfuckers out here, but I'm still American first. And watch everybody and their mama lose their mind when you put Trick Williams against the person who's anti-American, and then watch him also all of a sudden become a legendary babyface and heel. But that would be too much to give Trick Williams. That would be too much. They will tell you, ooh, this would be too volatile. You don't think having the Russians versus the Americans in the Cold War of the 80s was never something that was volatile back in those days? I've heard the men talk about that. I've heard them talk about how they couldn't get out of arenas good when they put on too much. No, that's the show. No, what it is that would be something you would have to make black people special when it came to it. Trick Williams would be legendary with that. And you know the bad thing about it? When I first made the statement, I said Rusev. That's the funny part about it that you said. I used Rusev in it. Rusev had just got back when I first made the statement. Go on the channel. If you're watching on YouTube, you can catch it. YouTube, if you go watch the video, it's a whole video on there talking about Montez Ford as the black American champion. I basically break it down. He could have been there. That's basically, you're right. They did it with Hogan. It's the same thing. See, the problem with it is though, this is how you stifle black Americans. Let's do this and I'm going to get out of here. I'm not going to hold y'all the rest of the day. Black Americans are told that we're just working, we're striving, we're going to get there. We're moving an inch every day. We need progress. When in actuality, you're on a hamster wheel. You're running, you're sweating, you're trying, but all at the same time, you ain't going nowhere. Because the people that run everything just give you an excuse. Remember, when they crash out Oba Femi, not if, when they crash out Oba Femi, and Oba Femi doesn't become your next Hogan, doesn't become your next Brock Lesnar, doesn't become your next RKO, when he doesn't become that, but he becomes your next Ahmed Johnson, when he becomes your next Godfather, when he becomes your next, at best, Bobby Lashley, you know what they're going to tell you? He just missed. We messed up that one storyline that probably could have did it for him. Why'd you mess that one up? But you seem to get it right with Chad Gables. You seem to get it right with Seth Rollins. You seem to get it right with this person. You always seem to get it right with everyone else. But our people, we just missed the mark. Again, NXT, they brought up Braun Breaker. He gets right into the Raw mix of things. Ethan Page comes get right into the intercontinental mix of things. Ethan Page is going to win the title off Chad Gable. Mark my words. So they brought up those NXT guys, put them right to work. They're going to say Trick Williams became the U.S. title. You're right. You buried him on there wrestling people like Sami Zayn that don't nobody want to see. The Miz that don't nobody want to see. And then you ruined the fact of the nostalgia of him versus Melo by making them wrestle on a random fucking Friday night. You don't see Trick Williams as the future. Trick Williams, you told him, he says, hey, I wasn't going to wear the coat every week. You said, no, let's wear the coat. Why? So you can monetize the coat, sell it on your store, WWE shop. And then when it gets stale, Trick Williams becomes stale. Because attires will come stale. Trick Williams was a snazzy dressing motherfucker. Let him be snazzy. But no, they're going to make him into a gimmick. Javon Evans is going to be entertainment. Like I say every week, he is entertainment. He is theater. He is to come out and at intermission when the show is so quiet you can hear a pin drop, and he's supposed to come out and be bouncy. And that's what they do. But everyone knows this, and I say this all the time. Wrestling is just like everything else. Things are measured a specific way. You either measure things through accolades and income. And they're not going to give the accolades to you, and you're not going to get the income. This whole thing, well, I loved him. He was great. You may have loved him, but the business didn't love him back. And we see it all the time. People say they argue with me and say that I make it all up. I say to you, don't tell me how amazing Ron Simmons is, and he's legendary. Don't tell me that Bobby Lashley is legendary, and I'm just trying to pick at this whole racism thing. When each one of these dudes, when they leave the business, leaves unceremoniously. They never leave in a way where you say, let's send them off like John Cena. Let's send them off like AJ Styles. Let's send them off like we're going to do Rey Mysterio. No. You look up one day and say, yeah, where's Ron Simmons? Oh, yeah, I think he retired last year. Why? Because they use your bodies and then they move on from you. If I'm lying, I'm flying, but it is what it is. People, I think I'm going to leave it right there for today's episode. People, I appreciate you for showing up. We're going to start expanding this conversation more. I got a lot of other things I want to discuss when it comes to it. We have the website that we're still building out. It's going to be amazing. You're going to be able to watch the show. You're going to be able to download the app, be able to get notified anytime I go live. And then on there, we're going to be able to cuss because we ain't going to be on TikTok or YouTube or none of these other spaces. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you guys, I'm probably like 2 or 3 days away from being completely finished. And once I do, you guys come on. I tell you all about it. You come over to the website. We go there and cuss talk shit. We can go live. I'll be able to do Zoom calls with people. We can actually do face-to-face calls. We can do everything you do on here. We're gonna be able to do over there, but better. All right. I appreciate you guys again for showing up. Hit the like button to share the thing. Support the channel. The Cash App is actually in the bio. I think it is or something. I don't know. But support the channel, love on you guys, and I'll see you on the next one. We do this on Friday again. Well, no, what's the day? Tuesday? Yeah, we'll do it again on Friday. We do them 2 days a week, Fridays and Tuesdays at 5 o'clock or somewhere around there. All right? I appreciate you guys. I'm going to holler at you next time. All right? Peace.